The rain had been falling all evening, cold and relentless, turning the narrow streets of the small town into rivers of mud. Most people had already rushed home, hiding from the storm behind warm walls and glowing lights. But on the edge of the market road, under a broken street lamp, a thin man in worn-out clothes slowly pushed his old bicycle through the rain. His name was Rahim. Rahim was known around town as the quiet poor man who repaired shoes and bags on a small wooden bench near the bus station. Every day he worked long hours just to earn enough for a simple meal and rent for his tiny room. Life had never been easy for him, but he carried a gentle heart that refused to grow bitter. That night, Rahim was heading home when he heard something strange. A faint whimper. At first, he thought it was just the wind pushing through the empty alley. But then he heard it again, weak, trembling, almost desperate. Rahim stopped walking. He looked around carefully, rain dripping from his hair. The sound came from a pile of old cardboard boxes beside a closed shop. He slowly approached. And what he saw made his heart tighten. Curled inside the soaked cardboard was a skinny mother dog, her fur muddy and her ribs clearly visible. Pressed tightly against her stomach was a tiny puppy, barely a few weeks old. The puppy shivered violently while the mother dog tried to cover it with her body. Someone had abandoned them. Rahim knelt down slowly. "Hey, little ones," he whispered gently. The mother dog lifted her head weakly. Her eyes were tired but alert. She didn't bark. She didn't growl. She simply looked at Rahim as if asking a silent question. Rahim understood that look. He had seen it in mirrors before, the look of someone who had been forgotten by the world. Rahim opened the cloth bag hanging from his bicycle and pulled out the only food he had bought for himself, a small piece of bread and a boiled egg. He broke the bread into pieces and placed them carefully near the dog. The mother dog hesitated, then slowly began eating. Not quickly, not greedily, carefully, as if she was afraid the food might disappear. Rahim smiled softly. But when the tiny puppy tried to move, it collapsed weakly against its mother. Rahim felt something twist inside his chest. "They won't survive the night," he murmured. Without thinking any further, Rahim gently lifted the cardboard box and placed it inside the basket attached to his bicycle. "Come on," he said quietly. "You're coming home with me." Rahim's home was not much more than a small, single-room shack behind an old warehouse. The roof leaked in two places, and the wooden door barely closed properly. But to Rahim, it was still a place of warmth. He quickly spread an old blanket on the floor and carefully placed the mother dog and her puppy on it. The mother dog looked nervous at first, but exhaustion quickly took over. She curled around her puppy while Rahim lit a small stove. Rahim warmed some milk with water and gently fed the puppy using a small bottle cap. The tiny creature drank slowly, its little tail twitching weakly. Rahim chuckled. "You're a fighter, huh?" That night, Rahim slept on the floor beside them, making sure they stayed warm. For the first time in a long while, his lonely room didn't feel empty. Days passed. Rahim named the mother dog Luna, because her calm eyes reminded him of the moon. The puppy he named Chotu, because he was so tiny. At first, life was difficult. Rahim already struggled to afford his own meals, and now he had two more mouths to feed. Sometimes he skipped dinner so Luna could eat. Sometimes he worked late into the night repairing shoes under a dim lamp. But something beautiful began to happen. Customers noticed Luna sitting beside Rahim's repair bench every day. She never barked or bothered anyone, she simply sat quietly, watching Rahim work. Chotu, on the other hand, grew energetic and playful. He chased leaves. He wagged his tail at everyone. And he made people smile. Soon, people started coming not only to repair their shoes, but also to see the little puppy and the loyal dog. One day a young woman stopped by and laughed as Chotu tried to chew her shoelace. "This little guy is adorable," she said. She paid Rahim double for a simple repair. Another day, a businessman who had been having a terrible day sat down beside Luna and absent-mindedly stroked her head. For the first time all day, he smiled. Slowly, Rahim's small bench became a place people enjoyed visiting. His earnings improved. But Rahim never thought of Luna and Chotu as a way to earn money. To him, they were family. One afternoon, something unexpected happened. A black car stopped near Rahim's bench. From it stepped a well-dressed older man. He watched quietly as Chotu played near Rahim's feet while Luna calmly guarded the space. The man walked closer. "Are these your dogs?" he asked. Rahim nodded. "I found them abandoned in the rain," he explained. "They just needed a little help." The man's expression softened. "I run an animal welfare foundation," he said. "We rescue and care for stray animals." Rahim looked surprised. The man crouched down and gently petted Chotu. "Most people walk away when they see suffering," the man continued. "But you stopped." He stood up and handed Rahim a business card. "We're opening a new animal shelter in this town next month. We need someone kind and trustworthy to help care for the animals." Rahim blinked in disbelief. "You mean, a job?" The man smiled. "A real job. With a salary." Rahim looked down at Luna and Chotu. The mother dog wagged her tail slowly. Tears filled Rahim's eyes. "I would be honored," he said quietly. A few months later, Rahim stood in front of the new shelter building. Dozens of rescued animals now lived there, dogs, cats, even injured birds. And every single one of them was greeted by the same gentle man who once repaired shoes beside a dusty road. Luna became the calm guardian of the shelter. Chotu became its playful mascot. Visitors loved them. Children laughed with them. And Rahim finally had something he had never truly known before. A purpose. One evening, as the sun painted the sky golden, Rahim sat outside the shelter with Luna resting beside him and Chotu asleep in his lap. He gently scratched Luna's ears. "You know," he said softly, "I thought I rescued you that night." Luna lifted her head and looked at him with those same calm moon-like eyes. Rahim smiled. "But maybe, you rescued me too." And in that quiet moment, surrounded by love and wagging tails, Rahim understood a simple truth. Sometimes the smallest acts of kindness return to us in the biggest ways. Because when you choose compassion, the world often finds a way to reward it. Dog Face Red Heart.